Could this be why Montego Bay is always flooding? I don't know, but let's get into it. This is the creek dome. It stands over the mouth of the creek. Well, not anymore, but we'll get back to that later. First, let's take a trip back in time, all the way back to when the Spaniards were in charge of Jamaica. One day, a Spanish girl and a slave girl went searching for crabs. Now, during their crab hunt, one of the crabs got away and hid under a stone. In an attempt to find and capture this runaway crab, they discovered a hidden stream. The underground stream was later given the name El Rio de Camarones, the River of Crabs, or, based on this search result, Shrimp River. Over time, the creek was dammed and the water flowed up to the road. Therefore, in 1837, in order to protect the mouth of the creek, which at that time was the city's best source of clean water, the dome was erected. The room at the top of the structure was where the keeper of the dome lived. He was in charge of collecting payment from villagers who came for water. But in 1894, piped water was introduced, and of course, as a result, less people used the dome. I know right now you're wondering, when do we get to why Montego Bay is always flooding? Well, here's the thing. In a July 1950 newspaper article, A.R. Cook wrote a rather interesting story about the creek. It read, "Legend has it that once the parish father suggested covering the creek and cutting down the huge cotton tree. It was not done, they say, because a member dreamt that a mermaid in the dome forbade it, lest the town be flooded." At the time, many believed what the man proclaimed was true, especially the young ones who were also warned of the Black Heart Man. Obviously, they did eventually proceed with covering the creek. At first, the mouth of the creek, the beautiful dome structure, tested that, and then eventually the entire creek. Could this be why Montego Bay is always flooding? Now, I'm not saying any of that is true, but it's information I found and just had to share. But what I know for certain is that almost every year there is a flood in Montego Bay. Last November, after 2 days of rain, there was widespread flooding, not only in St. James, but also in neighboring parishes of Westmoreland and Hanover. In Montego Bay, William Street, Princess Street, Union Street, Creek Street, and Upper Orange Street were all affected. The year before that, October 19, 2020, there was flooding, but mostly on the outskirts of the city. We got somewhat of a reprieve in 2018 and 2019, but in 2017, November 21 to be exact, we saw a massive flash flood. Montego Bay got 1 month's worth of rain in 4 hours. The North Gully just could not hold this water despite its size. Many people were left stranded, having to walk home, and many businesses and homes were flooded. Flooding in Montego Bay has been an ongoing problem for many years, and not just in recent times. As a matter of fact, there was a time when the flooding was worse, and this was before they covered the creek, which means that after covering the creek, the flooding got better, not worse. Based on my research, a part of the creek is under this park, St. Claver's Park, and as you can see here, this section is also covered. So actually, the flooding in Montego Bay has nothing to do with mermaids and everything to do with, well, a mixture of things. Insufficient drainage system, improper disposal of garbage that ends up clogging up the drains, and climate change. What do you think? P.S. This is later. According to my research, the earthquake of 1957 shifted the course of a creek so that water no longer flows at the bottom of the dome. Just thought that I would share that with you as well. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one. I can't see what's down there now, but I don't see the mouth of the creek, so it's not there anymore. It's dry. And that's noni, a noni tree growing right inside.